Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Case 1 Control Group Session 5. When last we left off, Elaine had just conceded to the vampire Veronica to let her feed Laurie her blood. However, we're going to shift the spotlight to Random, who has just seen Misha chow down on Peter's shoulder. However, something else starts happening.
Oh?
Random hears a crunk coming from a short way away, like 10 feet or so. She looks around and sees what appears to be the body of a man wearing military gear and still holding on to his right.
I was waiting for this. I knew she killed a whole squad of paramilitary people in the forest.
Yep. There are a succession of more crunches. One of them lands on the roof. Several others land around the compound. And Random can see the first one starting to move, like it's pushing its way up to its feet. So now we have some military ghouls.
Oh, joy. Well, shoot.
So, what's it going to be? Dealing with more ghouls, or Misha, or...
I do have one juice left that I picked up from the hit with all you got. But I'm saving that because I can't really do anything with it anyway. I can't hit. I'm not sure I can hit with all you got because I'm in the way. Okay. I am going to try to go to. I'm going to go ahead and try to attack one of the military ghouls. Oh, I'm trying to keep a track, get the attention of the military ghouls. The rule, xenomorph right now. Soldiers shoot xenomorph. Soldiers shoot xenomorph. That's the rules. Unfortunately, the rules are made to be broken. But yeah, she's trying to draw attention from the soldiers.
Oh, you're just going to let Misha nom on Pete?
Oh, gads. Yeah, I can't do that. Even if she survives or kills him, but... Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm hoping to draw attention from the military ghouls. I can do that if I get the right results. But I'm going to go ahead and tackle Misha. For one thing, I can cover her with my body. If they start shooting randomly. And try to take her off of Peter.
Sounds like going toe-to-toe.
With pretty much the entire field of battle, yes.
Yep.
Okay, heightened situational awareness.
Agreed.
Explore my free will. I'm working towards what gets the monster killed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mantras of speed and transport. I think I could tag fear of exposure. Because I'm working exactly counter to that.
Well, I mean, the three teenagers here are, like, definitely going to know that you are a monster of some sort.
In this case, I was thinking tactical exposure.
That is also a good point. Yep.
Okay. And being injured works against me. But I do have puppet backup still.
Indeed. The other thing that works against you is Misha's Dark Quickening. She is currently supernaturally strong and agile, so you take a -2.
Oh dear. So I have a 0. Okay.
Which, yeah, that's... You want to throw in Singed as well?
I did already, actually.
Okay, good. Alright.
That's why I'm at 0.
Mhm.
I got 1.
Is Puppet Backup still...
It's up to you. If it's not, then that's a 6, and I'm down to a miss.
I'm going to say it's still up.
Yeah, I burned one of my juice placing the tag on.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why it's so long. You... Okay.
I will say it counts towards this one, but this will burn it.
Then I'll remove it now. That's why it lasted so long. I forgot you burned that tag. Okay.
Alright, choose one.
I am going to achieve my goal, which is to get Misha off of Pete, and is getting Misha off of Pete and attracting attention from military ghouls 1 goal or 2?
That is 2 goals.
I'm gonna get Misha. I'm gonna get the ghouls. I'm gonna get Misha off of Peter.
Good plan. Alright, so you tackle Misha. You manage to grab, like, you grab her by the forehead from behind and pull her back so that, you know, her teeth are pulled up out of the wound and you don't manage to make that wound work. Once you've done that, you get your shoulder into her chest and you both wind up on the ground struggling again. Of course, Misha lurches forward with her bloody teeth and sinks her teeth into, let's say, Random's forearm defensive. You managed to get that up, but a good gout of your blood is probably going to go into her mouth.
Semi-acidic blood, which means she's going to be a little bit... But I don't actually have a thing to do status to her, except for I have 1 juice, which is going to somewhere else.
Indeed. So that is a status 2 that she is inflicting.
Does that overlap the singed, or does it go to a different...
It will overlap the singed. So it will upgrade to savaged.
Okay. I'm at savaged, and since it was a higher status, it just overwhelms.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Oh. I'm immediately spinning my juice.
Oh.
She's drank my blood, and she's filled with the unbounded. She's drank the blood of the rift of movie monsters. So, just it's too much energy for the evil influence to maintain hold. It's too much spell magic on one spell.
Yep, so that would break the evil influence.
Yes.
It also breaks the dark quickening, but hey.
Yeah. And probably gets rid of the false vampirism.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have 3 people to protect.
Yep. The military ghouls manage to get to their feet at this point. The shambling ghouls have taken a lot of damage, and are also shambling towards particularly the wounded people. Luckily, Lucy is not bleeding, so she is not attracting the attention despite her screaming and gibbering and begging that she just wants to go home. She's at the bargaining stage.
Right.
Horrifyingly, however, although it's not aimed at anyone in particular, it seems that the military ghouls twitching occasionally makes them pull the trigger on their guns. So every now and again, there's a flash and a crack of gunfire as they shamble forward.
A picture of the inside thoughts of Random right now is like, the monster should not be doing this. The monster should be hiding. The monster should be retreating. I don't want to retreat. I'm going. The monster should not be arguing with itself.
Okay. I'm shifting the spotlight back to Laurie. I'm sorry, what's about to happen is too perfect for this moment. Hesitantly, with the promise and the sworn oath of Veronica, as the vampire draws a sharp nail across her left hand, a black blood welling out of the wound as she reaches out to offer it to Laurie. Laurie takes several steps forward and looks over his shoulder to Elaine, who probably gives a slight nod of...
No, Elaine's fairly impassive, doesn't look bothered. You don't need a nod of approval. Like, this is just a thing. You don't need approval. You're a big kid now.
Alrighty. Laurie reaches out, takes the back of her hand, looks her in the eye as he hesitates and says, You promise this will all be over. Veronica smiles and nods, looking somewhat motherly. She says, Yes, I promise. Laurie's lips approach the wound. They part slightly. He's just about to drink when a gigantic armored car busts through the wall of the ranger shack and hits Veronica full on.
Oh, hello, Colbert.
It's a gigantic black-plated Humvee. Veronica is pinned against the ball, and the entire vehicle crunches into the wall opposite. The wall and Veronica don't seem to come off very well. The Humvee, however, is okay. There is some smoke and such, and a lick of flame as swearing and and yelling prayers to the merciful and vengeful God. He leaps out of the driver's side, looks at the stunned Laurie who is lying on the floor, and shouts, "Come, we must leave right now. She won't be held for much longer."
Elaine makes eye contact and forms a rather vulgar sign involving holding one hand as though signing, making the universal symbol for okay, but slapping the circular side against her forehead.
So, I am going to, at this point, ping the rules are made to be broken. To do a hard move, it's okay.
Yeah.
As Elaine and Laurie watch, a tendril of darkness creeps up and then strikes down rapidly, piercing Colbert Pitts through the heart. Veronica tosses the Humvee aside like it's a child's toy, flipping it on its side. She's gone into the, halfway into the full shadowy form of teeth and eyes. And sighs, "Pitts, you have interrupted me for the last time." With holding out her hand, you can see all of his blood is sucked out of his body as he shrivels up into a desiccated corpse. His crossbow falls to the ground at Laurie's feet. Since Laurie hasn't actually made a proper move, Laurie scrambles forward, grabs the loaded crossbow, and is going to try and stab her through the chest with it and pull the trigger. So, the worm turns. Gym training. Implacable enemy. I think that's the calf cut comes into it.
Yep, because it's physical.
Right.
I've thought of something that should add either a +2 or a -2, depending on how you're gonna play this.
Do tell, sweetie.
I believe Peter is still feeling suicidally heroic.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Hmm.
Suicidally heroic is a 2-stat spell.
Indeed. But is it a... But is it a plus or a minus? If Peter... So Peter gets off the ground, clutching his shoulder. There's blood going everywhere from his wound. He's probably running from some of the nearby ghouls, probably just barely clutching the shot. Sees Veronica, who he believes is responsible for Chad's death, and his teacher, counselor, possible mentor in hand-to-hand combat with it. That's a really hard call. What do you think, Thrythlind?
That is, I could see it going for or against either way. I'm going.
Well, okay.
I'm going to say, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you.
All right.
Let's going to use the key role-playing metric. Is it more interesting if he helps, or if he charges in blindly and gets in there?
Okay. I'm going to say it's more interesting if he helps.
Okay.
Because that gives him a nice heroic beat, which could possibly play in later. He has suffered a bit. He might regret this action. He's going to take it, and also, like, there is a -4 against Laurie here.
Oh.
Already. Yes, sorry. Veronica has the current status 4 of gorged on blood because she just drank 10 grown, heavily trained military.
And then a whole ranger station and class of people.
Yep. So that's why she is currently so hard to deal with. She also has immense strength, which means grappling with her is a horrible, horrible idea, and this is going to end very badly. But she doesn't want to kill Laurie. Oh, do I tag the weakness unlucky for others?
Yes. This is, there's so much others involved in this. Yes.
This is bad, and this is a go toe-to-toe.
Yeah.
I get to do something horrible.
Ouch. Time for an MC.
There are moments in people's lives that where something can go one way or something can go the other way. In another universe, Laurie may have succeeded and stabbed Veronica through the heart with the Silver Cross with the help of with Peter's help, which would have turned Laurie's fate in a different direction, that of the vampire hunter, taking on the mantle of Van Helsing. That is not the timeline that is going to occur. Peter's attempt as he charges screaming at the vampire from behind, fires his shotguns into the shadowy, which just absorbs the pellets like they're nothing. A casual, possibly not even a disdainful backhand. It's the motion of someone swatting a knocks Peter aside and unconscious, but you don't think he's dead, but that head wound is certainly going to be a problem. With her other hand, she grabs the crossbow, the enormous vampire hunting crossbow, like it's a child's toy, and simply crushes it in her grip, the wood splintering, enamel cracking in that terrible grip, before she casts it aside and grabs Laurie. Her voice seems unearthly as she grabs. For that, this will not be as pleasant.
Elaine coughs into one hand and makes the sign for pause. Before leaving them to it and turning to some mysterious, nefarious business.
Elaine's comment, does give Veronica pause. Yes, please excuse me. My emotions sometimes get the better of me, as she says as she chokes back her rage. Forcing Laurie's mouth open, she cuts her wrist, and the dark blood trickles into his. With that done, she closes his jaw and holds her hand over his nose and mouth, holding him there until he's forced to swallow from the lack of air. And once that's done, she just pushes him away, leaving him coughing and spluttering on the floor, which will crack Eternal Optimist.
That does feel
pretty thoroughly.
That does feel like it would crack Eternal Optimist more than the other option. The other method would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Elaine.
I would like to change the game. Because horrible rival and massive douche canoe, and also definitely in the wrong in this situation or not.
Colbert.
Yeah, in so much as Colbert is still one of the oldest acquaintances that she has within the, I guess, the personage of adventure type lifestyle. she's going to start extracting quite horrible, shapeless things from her suitcase. Not shadows anymore. These are writhing, unspecified, fleshy things, and liquid things, and congealed things, and clotted things. I would like to... It's meaningless if the monster can die, always a new monster, puppets all the way down. I think not sorted should probably apply, because she's going through the suitcase looking for a very specific thing. Anything else?
Give me a moment. For some reason, your window got minimized. Here we are.
I'd almost say distant and unfeeling because you don't have a sense of urgency. You might take too long.
Can you have two weaknesses?
Yes. We
Very
just
well.
usually don't.
So it can happen.
It can happen.
Okay. Anything else that I should add?
Keeps on ticking from the trapped with the fiction.
Does that work? The keeps on ticking is more of a defensive.
Well, the people we keep surviving, and I guess that might extend to keeping people we want alive surviving.
That sounds reasonable to me.
That will burn the tag after you roll.
Okay. Do I tick the burn
No,
now, or do I...
after you roll. If you tick the burn now, it will eliminate the.
Right. Okay. So crew things burn when you use them. Anything else? Shall I change the game?
Change the game.
Okay.
We're having wonderful things happen.
So, if this had gone well and I'd rolled enough juice, I was going to say that she inserts a puppet to perform the function of blood and a pair of skull clamp-like puppets for the head injuries of both Peter and Colbert. But turns out this is not what's happened.
Indeed. I get to make a move.
I have a plan.
Cool.
After your horribleness happens.
Well, okay, so I have not saved people. Oh dear.
Elaine goes looking for those things of flesh in the deepest corners of her suitcase, reaching in quite deep as she tries to push away the other thing she keeps in there. The thing of shadows and flesh that she finds, however, glares back up at her, and its eyes suddenly turn red as its shadowy matter reaches out in tendrils and tentacles wrapping around. Attempting to pull her into the suitcase.
Oh dear. Do I face danger?
You can indeed face danger. Remember to burn keep on ticking.
I'll burn on my sheet as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like. Basically, I'm thinking the face danger roll here is whether or not she's remembered not to do this with the only body she's got active. So, puppet substitution 2 places at once, and it's meaningless if the monster can die.
I agree to that.
Any weaknesses?
I am not going to tick any weaknesses.
Oh, you don't want to kill me out of hand. How nice.
Great success!
So, with a meaty crackling pop and all of the limbs coming off, Elaine's body is rent into tiny bits and yanked into the suitcase. Elaine's foot then comes down on the rear side of the lid and presses it closed.
I love it. That's great. Oh, random.
Okay.
Take the spotlight.
Take the what?
Take the spotlight.
Okay, so Misha's probably currently coughing from having Random's blood down her throat. Lucy is in the car. Peter's in the building. So there's Lucy over there. Random is going to go ahead and start saying, Wishmaster grants wishes, Wishmaster grants wishes, Wishmaster grants wishes, and jump over to Lucy and pointing it at the sun coming up. Make a wish, 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 make a wish.
Okay.
Can I include... I can't include the status I'm trying to increase in the attempt to increase it. That's in the actual... Mantras of speed and transport, because transport through time is transport.
This is a good point. It sounds to me like you're trying to do a Tempest Fugit effect, which is totally a monster thing.
Yeah, and the Wishmaster is a Jinn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Let's see. Let's see here. Heightened situational awareness.
Yeah, I'd give that. Yeah.
I need her to make a wish, so is Terrified going to work for me or against me? She probably wouldn't be doing it roughly. She would probably be kind of going, make a wish, make a wish, make a wish, make a wish, because Random doesn't get excited. Her voice doesn't get excited.
What did you tag? Because I can only see mantras of speed and time at the moment.
Heightened situational awareness.
Ah, that's right. Yep, there it is. All right. So I am going to give you a bonus of 2 to this roll.
Okay.
And I am not tagging any weaknesses. A bonus of 2 because there has been a lot of faffing about.
Got it. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do disjointed responses just so I can get a tag on Grappling with Humanity and get another thing there. And because trying to convince her to make the right wish.
I will allow it.
Here we go. Awesome.
Holy moly. Wow. 3 juice.
Yep. See, I am going to go ahead. I get 3 juice.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go ahead and give 3 to Here Comes the Sun, which will pop it up to 4.
Yep.
That's about all no, wait. It only takes 2 to pop it up to 4, doesn't it?
Yep.
It only takes 1 to pop it to 4.
Oh yes, because it was one to pop, one to get it to 4, another 2 on the track. So you'll need 2 more to get it to 5.
So
5 to get it to 6.
Yep. So I'll put the other 2 juice into making it come faster. It is now 4/2.
Yep.
The dawn comes quickly. It takes you all.
Okay.
However,
That is.
I did not hide the effect, so I think everybody of supernatural nature around knows that time just went really fast for a brief second.
Oh yes, clouds in the sky just started moving rapidly as the horizon is getting lighter and lighter as it creeps past twilight. You can see that the ghouls are beginning to smoke a little bit.
Good.
However, you didn't do anything about said ghouls.
No. I got Lucy to say, I wish it was daylight. Now I get to be shot. Or slash dad. And I'm not the xenomorph anymore.
Yes. So, all right. Lucy is not bleeding, so she is fine. Misha does have blood all over her, though.
Yeah.
Which means a couple of the ghouls grab her and start attempting to maul her. She's kicking and screaming, but will still take 2 to her physical.
I'm suddenly glad rules are made to be broken on the scene, because this means bites aren't immediately you are a zombie.
Well, yes, the ghouls don't work that way either, and also rules are made to be broken has been used.
Yeah. Oh, right. Oops.
However, the military ghoul. Oh, Peter's revenge has also been used.
Bloop.
Yeah. The military ghouls shamble towards random. One of them seems to reflexively, jerkily just lift their arm up and pulls the trigger, spraying some bullets towards her.
I used heightened situational awareness and mantras of speed and thought for the action, so I can't use them for face danger.
Correct.
Raised in a lab cage? No, because that's different sorts of defense.
Yep.
The dark shadows and flickering lights doesn't help.
No, because it's getting lighter because the sun's coming up. Maybe monsters can hide. I don't want to leave you completely defenseless.
Especially since I'm going to have savaged against me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the monsters can hide.
I'm not seeing a weakness tag.
Can I do mantras of deception? This is what I got when Monsters and Shadows just advanced. Can I use mantras of deception and darkness? Because the time trickery might make the shots go weird.
Considering that will give you some control over the shadows and perceptions of people, yes. I'd say you can do that.
Okay. I'm at 0 then for face danger.
Mm-hmm.
Character sheet's in the way. It is a great success.
Yep. So the spray of bullets ricochets all around random. It's not very accurate fire at all, and her ability, she probably is able to put like a car door between her, which is enough for her to avoid damage completely.
Woohoo.
All right. Considering Laurie is currently lying on the ground, coughing and spluttering, Elaine.
Elaine is still standing on the back of her closed suitcase and looking bitterly at the now undeniably corpseified Colbert. After a long moment, resolution seems to come to her. With a flick of her wrists, Colbert is on his feet again, snatching up the crossbow and firing.
Crossbow was destroyed. So
Crossbow was destroyed. In that case, he's going to tackle a military ghoul for a rifle.
cool.
Generally make a lot of noise and just keep the ghouls shooting at stuff that we don't, or attacking stuff that we don't really care if they murder it. Like corpses.
Alright. That... sounds like the change the game. You're trying to distract them, putting a status on them that will hinder them.
Oh, I'm going for a straight delay.
Oh, awesome.
That'll go ahead to
Yeah,
Here
change
Comes
the
the
game.
Sun.
Yep, change the game.
Unfortunately, the only things I can really think of that suit this at the moment are always a new monster and maybe puppet substitution, but it's not because it's just puppeting something that's already there. Yeah, it's maybe reckless abandon and always a new monster.
Yeah, I will give you those.
Any weaknesses?
Let's see here. No. Not that I can see.
Two juice. I am going to create the story tag Colbert for one of those juice and spend the other one on increasing Here Comes the...
Okay, one more and that will go to 5.
Okay.
Hopefully Colbert Puppet will, be useful.
Yep.
Okay. Elaine's not wounded at all, right?
Elaine is currently unwounded, yes.
I'm going to get you to make a face danger roll because several of the military ghouls are firing randomly around.
I just roll without clicking anything because I'm a spaz. What should apply?
Okay.
You are really hard to kill.
Undetectable?
That's for telling the difference between the duplicate and the real one.
Ah, okay.
The duplicate did just get destroyed, so.
I
Porcelain,
guess the defense is whether or not she's pulled out a new one. she's kind of out of it. I've marked some crack on Lady Adventurer, given that one of her compatriots has died for possibly the first time, and she hasn't been able to puppet their way out of it. So she's probably not doing well in the resolve and mental stability departments.
Yeah. It's okay. I think we'll go with the roll you just made.
Yeah,
because I'm not seeing any weaknesses and I'm not seeing any power tag.
that's
But
okay.
that is only a status 1. You get winged by a stray bullet. Laurie is shuddering violently, looking paler, and eyes flashing red. Veronica smirks and chuckles. Don't be such a baby. It will take much more than this little sip to complete the transformation. Let's call it a taste of the future. She turns and looks at the lightning sky to the east before turning back to Laurie. Well, have fun playing with my little toys, dear. I hope they give you some amusement for as long as they last. Turning away, she steps casually through the door of the building. From the mists that surround the ranger station, coming down the road, a sleek black sports car, growling like some kind of great beast, glides down the road and parks itself before her. She casually opens the driver's side door and steps in. The cabin seems to be empty, although the windows are heavily tinted, so once the door is closed, you can't see inside. And then the car pulls out and races down the road, knocking several of the ghouls aside, uncaring, as it heads towards the city.
That was awesome.
Yep. Okay, so Laurie throws his head back and howls as the dark energy is changing him. Let's see, I'm gonna go for a subtle influence. Uncanny luck, I think the worm turn. I'm going to do unlucky for others and hit attention. You know what? I'm also going to eliminate the calf cut status because that cut is healing rapidly.
You're the GM. Yeah, go.
Alright, change the game. Ooh. 3 juice. Let's kick that sun into overdrive. It's 4 and 2, right? 4 and 3, so we'll be at 5 and 2 with only 3 more to go. At the howl, the ghouls all stop and start shuddering. They pour. Mish is able to kick them away and scrabble away from them as there is a long stretched moment of lull to the fighting as whatever Laurie is doing is interfering with their ability to interfering with their cognitive ability, or perhaps the energy that is animating. Random.
Well, Random still hasn't completely gotten the wish. We didn't have making it daylight. I'm going to. So she is sticking with the Wishmaster right now and trying to accelerate that. I'm going to hit heavy filter between thought and expression because she can concentrate.
Yep.
Inured to the horrible, which is the tag I got on Grappling with Humanity. And mantras of speed and transport.
You can't use the mantras again.
Oh, it's the same
because
mantra.
you're using the same method and you've already used them.
I used it to
achieve the same.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay, it's still the same event. Do I have anywhere I can get the last 3 to get the 3 juice?
I can give you the spend the help that I've got on you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me just. Yep, I've also got a help for you. You can have a help from me.
So that's a +2, which is, I guess, because of Puppet, Orbit, and distraction from. Yeah.
Oh, well, yes.
Okay. Well, let's just say that Elaine's action can work into yours for distracting this. Because on her next turn, she's planning to add to her collection of puppets with the car. Specifically the Humvee.
Okay, I suppose any weaknesses?
Sorry, what was that, Thryth?
Any weaknesses?
No.
Okay. Change the game?
Change the game.
Woof.
4 juice.
Okay.
I think that'll do it. Yeah, that'll definitely do it.
Okay, so it was at 5-2, so 3 of that will go into Here Comes the Sun and bring it to Dawn Breaks.
Spend the last one on Hide the Effect, I dare you.
It's too late. I'm going to scale up the effect to be the entire forest, so any ghouls that we missed also get zapped.
Awesome. So yes, as... You know what, I'm going to say the speed of the sky has continued to be much faster as clouds roll across the sky and change and dissipate extremely rapidly. It gets lighter and the sun finally crests the mountain as the light washes over the scene. The ghouls stop smoking and start smoldering. Their flesh bursts into flame inside their clothes and they crumble to dust in front of you. Lucy and Misha slowly rise from their hiding places as they see the remnants of what used to be their friends crumble to ash around them and are scattered on the morning breeze. Laurie instinctively scrabbles away from the light, curling up underneath one of the desks, holding himself, wondering what the hell has just happened to him. Calm falls over the ranger station once more. Elaine and Random find themselves looking to each other. The scene is yours.
Random looks around at things going wrong and is going to basically say, chemical spill. And nod. Eyes kind of wide. And kind of sit down, kind of mumbling, still looks human, still looks human, still looks human.
Lucy looks to Random and half screeches, chemical spill? What are you even talking about?
Elaine nods sagely.
You all saw what just happened. What?
She nods. Credits roll. Newscast. Chemical spill.
Lucy shakes her head. I don't... Tears start rolling down her face. I just want to go home. Please, just let's go home.
Elaine's just going to empty any of the dangerous armaments out of the Humvee, or at least the passenger areas of the Humvee, into the suitcase so that they're out of the way, and then get the kids in for the drive. That is the only working car here, right?
Yes, the rest of them were trashed.
Okay, yeah, so we'll...
Oh, except for Elaine's. Unless you would like Elaine's to also be trashed. That could have happened after she passed.
It wouldn't make sense, because if Elaine's was trashed, so would Colbert's.
Well, no, Colbert's came from the military guys who parked it away from the where the vampire was. So the vampire never saw it.
I'm not going to go with it being destroyed anyway. I'm just trying to think of, do we have someone else who can drive the Humvee, or?
Laurie can drive. He's a bit out of it, but you know, giving yourself...
It's daytime now. That's a newly minted problem.
Yeah, he doesn't burn in sunlight though.
Yeah, I know, but even Dracula was weakened in days.
This is true.
Maybe I'll just put you in the driver's seat and have a second me in my passenger seat to puppet that car as well.
That works.
At any rate, we should have enough seats between us. We'll hide any of the dangerous things from the Hummer so that, you know, there's no weapons everywhere. Let's get these kids somewhere safe.
So...
Random's kind of looking at Lucy and cocking her head in that kind of puppy animal way, not really understanding the response knowing that this is something the good guys do when people die, or it comes at the end of the movie and that, but doesn't really understand it, or even if what she understands it, doesn't know what to do about it.
So you bundle everyone into the Humvee. There is tons of room. Laurie sits curled up in the back, seems to worry Misha and Lucy even more than anything else they've seen. He's wrapped himself in a blanket and is just curled up away from the sunlight. Pete is still out and goes on a stretcher in the back of the Humvee. You have to drive a bit carefully, but that's fine. You still can make good time. He does need to get to a hospital, though, after some first aid, rudimentary first aid. Lucy is physically fine, but obviously shaken. She's trembling and pale, and you have to watch her for shock. Misha sort of sits there, blank face, staring out of the window as you drive down the road. The mist clears to the daylight, and you can see in the distance the lights of the city finally as you approach home, or at least most of you approach home. It occurs to Random that she's left the only home she's ever known and is heading towards something completely unknown now.
Well,
she doesn't know what's going to happen to her in the future, and everything is new, but perhaps a bit brighter than before.
Indeed. And I've got a doozy of an idea for a nemesis, actually.
Awesome. I think we should geek out during the credits.
Yep.
That sounds good, because I've just realized that at the start of this session I had 2 attention, and at the end of this session I have 5 attention, 1 fade, and 2 crack.
Yeah, that was a doozy of a climax, wasn't it?
Yep. I was resisting the rules all over the place, so Gravity of Humanity didn't do anything. The question of where is home and what is safety, I never went away from that. So neither of those broke. Cracked or faded. I had 2 things I had 3 things upgrade.
Yep, and I had something cracked that didn't have any improvements on.
Oh no. You sure it didn't have any improvements? I thought we gave it 1 before it cracked. Oh.
I'm pretty sure it didn't.
Oh well.
Let's see, I'm looking at it now because you can do that without losing. No improvement.
Oh, wow.
It's okay, it just means transformation will take long.
Yep. Slow burn transformation is great.
Indeed. When the final girl finally gets pinged, that's going to give me a bit of build-up.
Well, we've all clicked geek out during the credits now.
It's okay.
Yeah, apparently for some reason the auto-scrolling wasn't enabled and I didn't realize you guys had. So I
did it after you did, so I was the last one.
I figure my my answer to the first one will be unburning that keep on ticking tag.
Yep.
Yep, I think we did grow this session by... Boy, we worked together quite well, even though we were separated. And we've survived... More to the point, we survived this.
Oh, yes. Should we mark an attention on the crew theme?
I think unburning that tag is better.
Is that alone amongst all of us, or do each of us do that?
I think it's you only get one of those.
It's
Okay.
discussion.
Each of us
Each of us get
do all the other ones on an individual basis.
Correct.
So no wonder.
Yep, I understand. Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character this session? Oh boy.
Well, in Elaine's case, I think it's definitely Laurie.
I agree.
Whether that counts as a help or a hurt, depends on how you look at the whole vampire blood thing.
It's interesting. I think from Laurie's, I think you take a hurt on Laurie.
Very well.
That, yes. I don't, like, Laurie isn't going to blame you, but there is the whole thing of you just let me do it.
Yeah,
But
I think Laurie's just come to a realization about, non-standard value systems.
Indeed. Laurie, on the other hand, definitely had the interaction with Elaine. The strange thing is Elaine trusted Laurie's judgment and decision. So I'm going to put a help there.
Cool.
Thryth, are you there?
I am there. I'm thinking. I'm also clearing statuses. I'm keeping the savaged. I believe it'll be gone by next case, but just in case.
Oh, yes. All statuses will be cleared by next.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm thinking the most interaction I had with anyone was Elaine at the end talking about the chemical spill. And for that, I will get a help because Elaine understands random. With what little random's able to express herself.
Join the club, sweet.
Okay.
Yes, this is a very interesting group. All right. Which of your themes is under the most strain? If it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? I'm going to say the final girl.
Because, yeah, it's under assault from the other mythos involved now.
Yep. I'm going to say it's a personality that it will fade into.
Okay. Personalities are very useful to have in this game if you don't want to risk going Avatar unless you want to.
It is. It's also apropos in this case, I think, because it will indicate the changes that, like the mental changes that Laurie is going through.
Yeah, I like what it implies about Elaine that one of her Logos books is something that she's adopted explicitly to help keep the myth at bay. Does vex me slightly that I'm pretty sure that's the one that's under the most strain at the moment.
I just want to comment, I really loved that moment where the suitcase turned against you.
Yes, that's a thing.
That was great.
Unfortunately, I've already answered that question for the suitcase the first time.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I think losing Colbert is denting some of the lady adventurer hobbyist type thing. It feels less hobby-like when your acquaintances and long-term colleagues are actually dying.
Question: do you want me to give my nemesis idea on the recording, or should I save it for off?
How about leave a bit of an air gap, tell us about it, leave a gap so it's nice and easy to cut out, and once we know about it, we'll tell you if it's something you should keep as a surprise.
Give me one moment. I'm just going to grab half a glass of horrible black stuff to keep my mind going.
Do you think if Lady of Adventure cracks, it should be to an adaptation or a subversion?
Ooh.
No, I've got a Bastion and a Relic.
So, yeah, right now you got a Bastion and a Relic, which makes you actually a lot harder to kill than random.
I mean, she is 100... Overall, her mythos is the puppeteer character, but in the fine details, mostly she's Awazaki Toko from Karano Kyokai.
I just couldn't remember the name. I recognized the inspiration.
Oh, I know you know the 3 rules.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, has everyone answered the themes? Which themes are under the most?
Mine's the same. I renamed it from Feral Teen since that's my overall logos, and I didn't want the logos name matching a theme name. I named it, changed it to Nameless and Forgotten. I'm thinking the more she gets towards a more mundane reality, the more that the Nameless and Forgotten identity will be put in question.
Okay. I have an important question for the future that I need answered so that I can build the next scenario around it.
Go ahead.
Who is Random going to get as a guard? Because Random is 14 years old, they need an adult.
17, but yeah. We agreed 17 earlier because it's...
We did. I remember now.
Yeah. I generally play her as 16 anyway, but let's see. I think Laurie would... Laurie's a little distracted right now. If Laurie wasn't dealing with his own stuff, I would say Laurie, but I think it's probably going to be Elaine. If Elaine's fine with that.
Elaine considers this acceptable.
Unless mysterious client has their own ideas, but yeah, Elaine is somebody Random knows.
Mysterious client will not be a direct factor for a bit, and I doubt Elaine will say anything about mysterious.
No, that's between her and the mysterious client.
Okay.
Indeed. So, air gap, and then talk about Nemesis.
Okay, actually I'm going to stop the recording and start it again. That way it's even its own file.
Cool. So, if a theme with your, your broad tag, cracks or fades, you get a new broad tag to distribute as the replacement grows, or?
Yes. You always have one broad tag. Unless you have picked the second broad tag thing, in which case you always have.
I'm going to start a new...
That's what I thought, but I wanted to double check because the suitcase is also on shaky ground.
I'm looking at Undead Taint and doing weakness and the power tag. What are the unwanted implications of your defense? I think weakness to sunlight, weakened by sunlight, I think is better.
Yeah. At least until you get a little bit used to it. Or yeah, but weakened by sunlight, uncomfortable in sunlight.
I think nocturnal. That way you have it more as a staying up late penalty if you're up during the day.
I like that. That's succinct. Yes, later on I'm going to grab a how do your defensive powers affect your opinion.
I see. As a note, random does not have a broad tag right now.
You should. I think the only reason we don't is that we just didn't do them.
Mine was mantras, monster movie mantras, but it broke. So, and I haven't replaced it yet.
So, the thing is, you can replace it the way you do with a new potential tag that's growing in, like we did with Wages Tango.
Yeah, so I think it's probably good.
You can just place it now.
I think I'll just wait till the second tag grows in on Grappling with Humanity and make a broader tag there. I do have F, which is inured to the horrible, which might apply to a whole lot of things we do, but still fairly specific. I'll probably put in a new broad tag with Grappling with Humanity when I get the second one. You'll be very specific to what I can do until then.
So I need to pick power tag question A. What quality or ability granted by your mythos most often protect? I was thinking a regeneration.
Regeneration is good. Having effectively no vital organs is good. Immune to precision damage.
Yeah, that's...
yeah. The beauty thing will come in later because you're doing that later.
Yeah.
I'm rapid healing probably, or blood fueled healing, biology.
Sorry, I think I might be homing in on something.
Yep.
It does help. The prompts do help.
I'm trying to avoid honing in on Patricia.
Yes. What was Patricia's?
Patricia's was that she was so beautiful that it made people really not want to fight her.
Okay.
She had healing in there as a secondary thing. Her primary defensive was you are not worthy.
I'm trying to put something together. I like the word pristine here, so I'm...
Pristine form? Pristine renewal?
Anne's got an idea here, just one moment.
Side note, I'm wondering if perhaps that entire forest is now like 7 minutes ahead in the future.
I've accidentally done that in Mage games before.
Oh dear. Yeah, so Anne suggested Flawless Grace. I'm going to go with that because does anyone mind if I make that my broad tag?
That is perfectly reasonable. Thryth, thing that's probably not coming through completely there is that's grace as in the grace of a higher power.
Got it.
But yes, with broad tag on it, that gives it a lot more stuff. I think that's suitable because like Final Girl is getting de-emphasized.
Indeed.
So yes, that's where Laurie stands. So that is awesome.
I wish these allowed more space so that we could fill them in like Fate aspect.
That'd be nice.
Because for that one, I really, really wanted to suggest never mole, nor scar, nor hair lip, nor mark prodigious.
As a note, if you were going to have to roll a thing when you were drinking the blood, which you didn't, it is just a thing that happened. I was going to give you a help through Random because, well, Random's a monster and she's not a terrible person.
See also Elaine.
Yeah. No, this. Yep. The thing is that is going to be much more of a thing in Laurie's future arc. Now, you know, becoming okay with becoming a monster, even though Random's becoming more human. But yeah. This is going to be interesting. Yes, so I need to spend a little bit of time making some notes before I go to bed tonight so that I work on stuff tomorrow. Yeah. And it is quite late.
Yeah. I am thinking that the next thing to crack is going to be her defining event, so she's going to go back to Legendary a little bit, but she might be flip-flopping a lot because her story is up in the air.
I'm gonna be honest, everything but Puppet Body can crack right now. Or Fate.
Yeah.
I mean, the suitcases rebel, that's a thing. If she's been actively using the multiple bodies and just letting the spare puppet bodies die, which is kind of eroding the death of her original self as a defining event. Also, I've already worked out what the tags will become if that changes.
And right now, Random is if Random ever answers the question of what is safety, I will either have to change that question, or that theme will fade and it'll be something mundane. Same was where is home, because when you answer a question, you can switch it with a new question. But there's always the chance that it doesn't go into a new question, and the only possible explanation is it cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Or as a side note, I mentioned we discussed this in off thing. The must be dismembered should be at 2 instead of 3.
Ah, okay.
I made a mistake and clicked my wound to a positive instead of a negative.
No problem. Change that now.
Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I have a nemesis I need to define. Oh well, it's probably gonna be Goliath Industries.
Yeah, yeah. That, as I recall, we were going to work that out between sessions after this episode.
Right, we didn't. Never mind. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh.
It sounds to me like you're trying to do a Tempest Fugit effect, which is totally a monster thing.
Yep, and the Wishmaster is a Jinn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I have seen the first of those movies. It was interesting.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah, I won't. It was okay a thing to watch at home when it was on TV. It's not something I'd pay for.
Yeah.
Well, you almost stopped it from happening yourself, but you finally got there.
Yep. Well, that was the point.
You're the final girl as tainted by the undead.
Mm-hmm.
You are the protagonist to Dracula 2000.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I think we're at denouement here. I think we
Oh,
the city.
yes. I was just about to give the spiel.